Hey guys, it's Owen from Wrestling Inc. back with another wrestling news roundup. Without any further ado, let's get into today's biggest stories in the world of professional wrestling. Roman Reigns reportedly not wrestling at WWE Hell in a Cell. Roman Reigns will not be involved in the upcoming WWE Hell in a Cell Premium Live event, according to Dave Meltzer on the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Radio. While the Tribal Chief has reportedly signed a new deal with WWE recently, it has been widely reported his schedule will be less taxing. The undisputed WWE Universal Champion is not advertised for any TV tapings or live events for July and August, but Roman Reigns is now set to not compete at the next event, which takes place next month. It is expected that his next title match will be at the WWE Money in the Bank event. Right now, it is unknown what this means for the show itself. It is also unclear what will be happening with Drew McIntyre or how WWE plans on explaining Roman's upcoming absences from television. It is expected that Roman Reigns will be involved in the WWE Money in the Bank and WWE SummerSlam shows. Both of those are going to be stadium events, and he has been part of television in order to build those shows. It was noted that WWE is expected to be advertising him for TV tapings he will be appearing at in the near future. The Tribal Chief is reportedly going to appear more frequently than Brock Lesnar during his time as champion. At a recent live event in Trenton, New Jersey last weekend, Roman Reigns got the wrestling world talking when he hinted that his schedule would be changing. This is what initially alerted fans to the fact that the Bloodline leader would be working less shows moving forwards. Quote, "I've been here a couple of times in the past 10 years, Reigns said after the event at Trenton, New Jersey. I'm starting to work into a new phase of my career and I honestly don't know if I'll be back here again. If that's the case, I just want to say thank you for all of the years of support," end quote. Backstage news on future of AEW's Blood and Guts. AEW is planning on bringing back the Blood and Guts match soon, according to Dave Meltzer on the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Radio. He was not aware of who would be in that match, but with the current storytelling, it could end up being the Jericho Appreciation Society stable to step inside. They currently have 5 men in their faction, and during the latest episode of AEW Dynamite, they were staring down 7 opponents. The Jericho Appreciation Society was confronted by Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz, and all 4 members of the Blackpool Combat Club. Therefore, a Blood and Guts match could be the direction that they are heading in, but it's unknown exactly when AEW is planning to have this match take place. Next week on AEW Dynamite, Chris Jericho and William Regal are set to go face-to-face in a promo segment that could end up with the match being created. It appears that AEW is pushing toward a major confrontation at Double or Nothing, but it is not guaranteed that this will end up being the Blood and Guts encounter. Of course, William Regal was famous for screaming War Games during his time as NXT General Manager. This stipulation is the closest AEW has to that one, which could be a sign that it might be coming in the near future. Both Jericho and Jake Hager were involved in the one and only previous Blood and Guts match. That one saw the Inner Circle defeated by the Pinnacle, but this was done during the pandemic era, which meant they did not get full crowd in to appreciate the stipulation. The match has had a complex history, as the original bout ended up being cancelled completely due to COVID-19. The first ever Blood and Guts match was supposed to see the Elite battle the Inner Circle, but that became the Stadium Stampede. Owen Hart family backstage at AEW Dynamite. The family of the late Owen Hart was backstage for this week's edition of AEW Dynamite. Dr. Martha Hart, the wife of Owen, was shown several times in the audience during the opening Dax Harwood vs. Adam Cole match. Cole defeated Harwood to advance to the Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament semi-finals. Prior to Dynamite, AEW President Tony Khan shared a photo of himself and the rest of the Owen Hart family backstage. As can be seen on social media, Dr. Martha Hart was at the taping with her 2 children, Oj and Athena. With the family staying away from the public eye since the demise of Owen, this was a rare appearance by them on national television. As noted previously, 3 more Owen Hart Foundation quarterfinal matches are set for next week's AEW Dynamite. While the Joker mystery opponent will square off against Samoa Joe, Rey Fenix will wrestle the undisputed Elite's Kyle O'Reilly to see who makes it into the semi-final round. On the women's side of the bracket, Dr. Britt Baker DMD will have her own Joker mystery opponent to deal with next Wednesday, with the winner moving on to the semi-finals against Toni Storm. Both the men and women's tournament finals will take place at the upcoming Double or Nothing pay-per-view. Jeff Hardy defeats Darby Allin to advance in Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Last night's episode of AEW Dynamite finished up with a wild anything goes match between Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin to advance to the semi-finals in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Recently signed AEW star Jeff Hardy ended up victorious over the former TNT champion Darby Allin when all was said and done. Hardy and Darby didn't disappoint when delivering several high-flying spots throughout the match, but it was a quick crucifix pin that got Jeff Hardy the victory in the end. Earlier on in the broadcast, Darby delivered a promo where he said how fans didn't want anything more than a wild daredevil match between the two men, so he asked that Tony Khan make it anything goes. It was revealed later in the broadcast that it was approved by Tony Khan and the two men had a no restrictions bout. With his victory, Jeff Hardy will move on to the semi-final round and face the leader of the undisputed Elite, Adam Cole. Other matches on the men's side of the tournament that we will see include Rey Fenix versus Kyle O'Reilly and Samoa Joe versus the Joker, a surprise entrant revealed at the time of the match. The tournament finals will be held at the AEW Double or Nothing event on May 29 in Las Vegas, and Dr. Martha Hart will be there live to present the Owen Cup trophy to the winners. Toni Storm advances to AEW Owen Hart Foundation Tournament semi-finals. Last night's episode of AEW Dynamite featured the first quarterfinal match for the women's portion of the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament. Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter wrestled a technical, aggressive match as they battled to see who would make it to the semi-final round. When the dust was settled, Toni executed a finishing spike piledriver to get the pinfall over Jamie Hayter. She will compete against either Britt Baker or the Joker, a soon-to-be-revealed opponent in the upcoming semi-final round. Former WWE star Toni Storm debuted with AEW on March 30, 2022 as a surprise opponent for the Bunny in a qualifying match for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Storm was obviously successful in that match, advancing her to the quarterfinal match last night. Jamie Hayter previously qualified for the tournament when she defeated Sky Blue on the April 1 episode of AEW Rampage. Upcoming quarterfinal matches include Riho vs Ruby Soho, Red Velvet vs Hikaru Shida, and Britt Baker vs the Joker mystery competitor. Stipulations revealed for Wardlow vs MJF at AEW Double or Nothing. Last night's AEW Dynamite featured a segment where MJF and Wardlow came face to face in the ring, though MJF had a security team, Shawn Spears, and put Wardlow in handcuffs to ensure his safety. MJF then revealed what stipulations he had put in the contract for a singles match between the two men at Double or Nothing. Wardlow has several trials he will have to get through in the coming weeks to even get his hands on MJF at the next AEW pay-per-view. Firstly, MJF says he's going to take off his bout and deliver 10 lashings directly to Wardlow's back. If he survives the pain of that encounter, Wardlow and Shawn Spears will then compete against one another in a steel cage match, a style of match that Wardlow has never won. To make things even more difficult, the special guest referee in the steel cage match will be none other than MJF. If he is able to get through the tasks in the way, Wardlow will go one-on-one against MJF at Double or Nothing later this month and will be released from his MJF contract if he wins the match. But it was then revealed that if Wardlow isn't victorious at Double or Nothing on May 29, he will be banned from ever signing an AEW contract again. So what are your thoughts on today's Wrestling News Roundup? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to Wrestling Inc. and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.